Sure. Hi, everyone. This is Karen for OHC. Welcome to Creating Space. And today we have a beautiful topic for you. What's your ask for 2022? Because for the longest time, we talk about forecast, what will 22, what is the energy for 2022. But what's good now is we're taking personal responsibility for this year. And we're going to create and open up to possibilities for the year. And guiding us in this conversation is Access Facilitator Ryan T from Malaysia. Okay, hi Ryan.
Hey,
Well,
Karen.
welcome back to Creating Space.
Thank you for inviting me back again.
We're so happy to have you. Like backstage, we're talking about all the creations and destructions that access consciousness gives. So, how about you? How's your 2022? Starting.
Well, it's just the beginning of 2022. It's too early for me to say like how's my 2022, but I'm definitely asking for more. Okay, and so today we are going to talk about like ask. So just now you mentioned about the forecasting, like so a lot of people keep asking this question like, what do you think about this year? What do you think about next year? What do you think will happen? Like whatever. Um, well, number one, we don't really like we cannot control the outside world. Okay, sometimes the outside world can be really insane. Like if you don't believe me, look back the last 2 years. but but you always have a choice what to do with your own life,
Yeah.
and you can always ask for something different. And especially for the last 2 years, asking and receiving is even more true. It's even more a reality for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You're
sometimes like in the past, when you would like to have something, you need to like figure out how to get there, what you need to do. But somehow in the last 2 years, for a lot of us that are willing to have it, we are like, oh yeah, that's cool. What would it take for me to have that? Universe, please show me how. Give it to me, and then somehow it just magically show up. Okay, I know a lot of you will be like, yeah, but it doesn't work all the time. I get that.
right. And the question
It
is
doesn't.
it really that
Okay.
simple? Do I really just have to ask the universe what will it take for something to show up and it magically appears?
Yes, it can be that simple. And but see, when you ask that question, it wasn't like a pure question. It's a question like, can it really be that simple? It's with a little bit of conclusion, like it cannot be, like, and then put a question mark on it.
Right, right.
Yeah. So if you have already decided it cannot be that simple, then you are the one that is stopping it. But I'm not saying it about you, but I'm like a lot of us, right? So it's our fixed point of view about how our life should be, how to create our life, how to create our future, that is stopping the universe from contributing to us as quickly and as fast and as easy as possible. And perhaps we can change some of that today,
Yeah.
if anyone
Interesting.
want to change that.
Yeah. I'd really love to I'd really love to change that. But what do you think it will take to get into that space where magic happens for us? Because you've been
Uh,
talking about that. I've been watching your YouTube and you're saying, my life is way too much fun. It's so fun. I'm just it's beyond this reality. That's my sense. And even if we've been
yep.
watching you since last year, it felt like there's no COVID wherever you are because you just keep on creating. How do we get into that space when yeah, we just believe in the endless possibilities?
Okay. Uh, well, you have a few questions here. Let me see, where do I start? Okay, let's talk about the COVID first. Okay, so everyone, I know COVID is out there, uh, but if you look at the COVID thing and ask yourself this question, so truth, is this relevant to me? What do you get? Or I can ask you, so truth, is this COVID thing relevant to you? Your mind might want to answer, of course it does. It affects my business and blah, blah, blah. But if you look at it energetically, is it relevant to you? you're like, as much as I want to make it relevant so that I have something to blame, I can blame the COVID thing. But energetically, it's like, okay, it doesn't have anything to do with me or us. Okay. So it's our point of view that we decided it has something to do with us. We decided it's relevant to us. Then we get into the endless trauma and drama and story with that thing. Okay. So one question that can set you free, and I use that a lot since 2020. No, yeah, since 2020. So it's like, is this relevant to me? Okay, it's not just about the COVID thing. Anything that upset you. Okay, so for example, let's say your parents are fighting against each other, and then you're like, oh God, they are affecting me. But if you look at it like, okay, they are fighting. Is this relevant to me? You're like, oh, okay, no. They fight because they choose to fight. It has nothing to do with me. Okay, so
Mhm.
okay, so I think a lot of you know about this thing called the access consciousness clearing statement, right? The crazy phrase, right and wrong, good and bad, power and part, all nice, just boys and beyonds. If you don't know that, of course, there's this website called www.theclearingstatement.com that you can go check it out. So why did I mention this? Because I cannot wait to start using it to change things for all of us. Okay, so if you need logical explanation for your mind, go to www.theclearingstatement.com. But even your mind doesn't understand it, it will work. Okay, so here's how it works. I will do something something that we call the clearing process. So I will ask you something, or I will say something to trigger something in your world. And what I'm going to trigger is those limitations. So when those limitations, the energy of those limitations come to the surface, and then I will ask you one very important question. Are you going to destroy and uncreate that? Okay, meaning, are you willing to let it go?
Right.
Okay, so because everything in your life is your choice, including the limitation. So if you would say yes, if you would let it go, and then I will say the clearing statement, and then the limitations will like magically be gone. Okay, so are you saying something? I cannot hear you. Are you?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, all right, cool. Because I saw your lips were moving. I'm like, are you saying something?
No, 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 no. Just some backstage stuff,
Okay.
but you're here.
Okay, okay. So, um, so just now I talked about the relevance and irrelevance. So, what is it that is actually not relevant to you that you have been making it so relevant to you, so that you always have a problem and always have something that you have to fix and never be truly free? Ah. Okay, so see, now after I ask that, you'll be like, "Ugh." Okay, so that's those energy coming out. And then so now I will ask, will you please let it all go? Please try and create that if you're willing. And then I will say, right and wrong, good and bad, talk and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yes.
Okay, so after I say that, even your mind will be like, what? Come again? What did you say? Was that English?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
but you could feel it's like something is shifting, like something got lifted from you.
Yes. So true.
Okay, so
So true.
um, so let me do that again. Okay, so what is it that is actually not relevant to you? Okay, get all these energies. How many things that are actually not relevant to you, but you have been making them so relevant to you, so that you always have a problem and you always have something to fix, and you never be truly free. Everything that is. So whatever this is, will you please destroy and create all of that? Let it all go.
Right.
Right and wrong, good and bad, talk and part, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Uh-huh. Okay, I think this might be a little bit too fast for some of you that have never heard of this thing. So basically, this is how it works. Okay, whatever that you want to change in your life, whenever you have any quote unquote problems, so behind those problems and limitations, there must be some energy holding it in place. Okay, so once you can like identify the energy, not mentally, but you just like, oh, that's the energy. You can say, okay, I destroy and create that, meaning you choose to let it go, followed by saying the clearing statement.
Right.
Okay. So it can be, let's say in the morning when you wake up, you can say, so everything that doesn't allow today to be the best day of my life so far, the most beautiful day of my life so far, I destroy and create all of that. So you don't like bring those crap, those limitations from yesterday or last week to today. Okay, and then after that you say like, okay, all these things from yesterday, let it all go. I destroy and create that. Right and wrong, good and bad, talk and pot, all nine short spoils and beyonds.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how it works.
Also, probably to ground this discussion, can you tell us, because you're an access consciousness facilitator, some people here might not be familiar with that. Can you please tell us more about access consciousness to ground this discussion? And also, I'd like to ask, what's the best gift that you receive from access consciousness?
The best gift, I start to have me. Okay, so access consciousness started in 1990 by a guy named Gary Douglas. So Gary Douglas is the founder of access consciousness. So what is access about? Okay, as the name suggests, okay, it's about you accessing more consciousness. Okay, and why is consciousness so important? Any area of your life where you have limitations, problems that you cannot change, you cannot resolve, it's because you function from unconsciousness or anti-consciousness in that certain area. Okay, so for example, let's say if I have a lot of judgments about money, I will use money as example because somehow this always connect with a lot of people, relate to a lot of people. So if you, let's say, have some point of view like it's hard to make money or money is evil, only those rich and selfish people have money or something like that. Okay, so if you have a lot of a lot of points of view like this, it's not going to be easy for you to create money. Okay, whenever you would like to create more money, you are like fighting against yourself, right? You're like, I want more money, I need more money, but well, it's something bad. I shouldn't have that much. So you have a lot of internal conflict inside you. Okay, so this is what most people like experience in their daily life, not just about money, but so many things, so many areas in their life. So, but with consciousness, so it's like you can finally look at certain thing consciously, not from judgment, not from the points of view that other people have passed to you, have given to you. And that could be including your parents, your family, your school teachers, and so on and so forth, your best friends, your enemies, so on and so forth. Okay, so so without those points of view and those judgments and those lies, okay, then when you look at money, you'll be like, oh, okay, my entire life I have been believing that it's something bad, something so hard to get. I have to struggle for money, but oh, now I realize with consciousness that is not true. I actually have a different choice. Then things start to become easier and easier. Okay, so this can also connect back to what we talked about just now about the COVID thing. Like, so how many points of view about COVID and vaccine? Oh, I said the V word.
Oh no.
How many points of view about COVID and vaccine have you bought from the media? Mm-hmm. Okay, so with some consciousness or with more consciousness, if you look at that, do you think they want you to be more free or do they try to control you? Yeah. So if you align and agree with those points of view that you get from whoever, from media, social media included, well, then of course you would function from fear, from panic, like, oh no, this is going to affect me this way. Okay. So how I could continue my creation like almost unaffected. It's because of I'm like, oh, COVID irrelevant to me. If I bought into any point of view about it, like, all right, destroy and create that, talk and pot. Okay, so let's do that for everyone. So how many points of view about COVID and vaccine and the vaccine certificate or vaccine passport, however you call it, have you bought from the media, from social media online, and from your government.
Yes.
Everything that is times a gajillion. Wow, let's destroy and clear all of that so that you start to have freedom around this area. Right, wrong, good and bad, top and pot, all nine shots, boys and beyond. Oh yeah, the booster. Fantastic booster.
So, famous booster too.
Yeah, you see, when especially with the COVID and the vaccine and now the booster, you can see how this whole world function from polarity. It's like someone you will have people say that you must do it, and there will be people that go against it. But whichever side that you take, it's not going to give you freedom. You still function from other people's point of view. But what if now you have choice, you have awareness, you check with your own awareness, like, okay, what do I need to do here? What's best for me? What works for me? Okay. Trust me, in this world, no one wants you to choose what works best for you. Because if you choose what works best for you, it's very hard to control you.
True.
Okay.
True.
So let me do that one more time and then I will see what questions do you have because I can still feel the energy. So how many points of view about the COVID, the vaccine, and the conspiracy behind all these things have you aligned and agree with, or you try to fight against? You try to prove they are right, or you try to prove they are wrong, and none of those set you free. Everything that is times a godzillion. We will now please destroy and create all of that. Right, wrong, good and bad, power and pot, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. Okay. Any of you like feeling a little bit lighter, like more space? Yeah.
How's everyone? I can sense. You know what I'm sensing is the heaviness of everyone because you touch a very sensitive topic about polarity, and people don't discuss that. Well, number one, we're being controlled. You mentioned that. Number two, we're being divided. There's vaccinated,
I touch all the sensitive parts.
You did, and it's like freaking everybody out.
Yeah. Okay, so I get that this might be a little bit like not for beginner, but please re-listen to this part a few more times until you get it. Okay. Then because you see your mind might not get it immediately, but you're like, but I feel lighter, I feel more spacious, I still don't understand what you're talking about, but I have this lightness. Okay, so whenever you have this lightness, you always have more freedom, you always have more choices. Okay, recall back those times that you felt like you have no choice, everything was so hard, so difficult. It had this heaviness that is like pressing you down. Okay, so whenever you have this heavy feeling that like press you down, like keeps you stuck, those are the energies of the unconsciousness and anti-consciousness. Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right, so what else can I talk about?
What you're doing for us, yeah, well, I feel that what you're doing for us is you're defragging our brain. Like you're clearing, like a lot of us are like so overloaded with a lot of information, and it's like you're deleting a lot of the unnecessary files.
Yeah.
And you're asking us the questions that will allow us to create space for ourselves.
Yes. And with that, it actually proved that change is not that hard. It can be really fast. It can be really easy. Okay.
That's so true. Andrea and I have been neighbors for like almost 2 weeks now, and we've been talking for and we've been together for the past couple of months, and we've gone through all kinds of modalities, especially Andrea, and all kinds of counseling sessions and healing sessions and all that things. But access is just so easy, and then now. Before I would like meditate at 4 a.m. in the morning and meditate every single hour and then meditate in the evening. It's like I always need to work on myself. every single time. And it was like talking meditation. And I get it that whatever space I'm in, what even if I'm not sitting down and meditating, that's my meditation. I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is just so freeing. Access consciousness is just so freeing.
Yeah.
With less work.
Yes. Because how should I say? Because if you okay, with more consciousness and with more awareness, then those lies cannot remain. Okay, so let me give you an example. What do I mean by that? So before access, I've learned a lot of things as well, and some of them were like really useful, really great, and of course some of them like maybe it worked for other people but didn't suit me that well. But if you function from a lie could be like you have decided what is wrong, what is the problem. You know, sometimes with our mind we are so like so much like holding on to a fixed point where like this must be the problem. So let's say you have decided the problem is here, but actually the problem is not there. But because of you first have decided this is the problem, now you try to use everything you have learned, whether access or some other modalities, to try to solve this problem. But you are trying to solve a problem that is actually not a problem, or you're trying to solve a problem that shouldn't be like it cannot be solved with this direction. Okay, but with more awareness you'll be like, oh wait a second, I've been trying to solve this problem my entire life with so many tools, so many techniques, but what if that's actually not a problem? What if the problem is something else? Okay, so for example, if you made something relevant, so back to the topic I talked about just now, relevant and not relevant. If you made something relevant and then now you're like, oh, I'm affected by whatever that you have made relevant. Now you try to use your tools, your techniques to try to solve that thing. You might get some lightness and some freedom by working on yourself around that topic. But there's another easier way, that is just to realize, oh, wait a second, that is actually not relevant to me.
Right.
Okay. So
How
that's like
do
a
we
shortcut. You
tap
don't
into
need to. Yeah. Hmm?
how do we tap into that awareness? How can we be more aware that it's just really simple to know which is relevant, which is not relevant. I'm getting stuck
The
here.
million dollar question. The million dollar question, how to be more aware. Um, Let me ask you a
Yeah,
different question. Okay. How do you make you not aware?
right.
Okay, so let me ask you this question in a different way. So if we look at kids, okay, are they aware?
Yes, they are. They're very aware.
They are very aware. Okay, but
Yeah.
of course, in many situations, the adults don't empower the kids to be as aware as they can be. Okay, so kids, they are aware. They are naturally aware. So how those how the kids change from being aware to less aware?
I feel it's because of the judgment of the parents and the society around them. When they tell
Yeah,
them, you shouldn't do this, you should do this.
yeah. So you see, I believe most of us, if not all of us, we never had anyone that encouraged us to trust ourselves and to use our own awareness. People have
That's true.
people only like project at you like you don't know. You shouldn't know that much because nobody told you that, so you shouldn't know. You should just listen to daddy, mommy, teacher, whoever. Okay, so and then when you don't listen, they make you wrong. They judge you. Okay, and when you listen, well, how often is it that you get what you want by listening to other people's opinion? Very rarely.
Never happened to me.
Yeah, almost never,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
best if I listen to myself. Yeah.
yeah, so but you see, if you don't listen, let's say if you didn't listen to your parents or your teachers, sometimes what come after that could be the punishment. Okay, punishment
Mhm.
could be physically, it also could be emotionally, like, or mentally. Okay, so for example, you, let's say you might not get punished physically, okay, but people start to isolate you, like, oh yeah, we don't mix with this person. Okay, so you feel bad, like, why are you all not going to play with me, like, so, and then you realize, okay, in order to have friends or being accepted by you all, I better be like you all. Whatever you all do, I will do. I have my own awareness, but yeah, nah, okay, never mind. I will just follow you all. Okay, so how we got from being aware to less aware or like really unaware is like, of course, judgment and also the need to fit in.
Right. So
Okay,
true.
so especially now since the COVID started, if you try to fit in, oh my god, the whole world is basically insane and crazy. Okay, so if you like, oh yeah, I know this is how you all want to live your life, but eh, not my reality. Okay, please remember this easy phrase, not my reality. It can be like, oh yeah, everyone's crazy, not my reality. Is it relevant to me? No, not relevant to me. And when I say not relevant to me, I don't say it with the energy of fight. Okay, if you say it with the energy of fight, you are not truly free from it. So
Yeah.
let me demonstrate this for you. So if someone do something crazy and then you're like, "Ugh, not my reality, not relevant to me," with that like judgment, like this is bad, this is
Heaviness.
wrong.
But-
Yeah, you
Right.
still make
Right.
you're still
Right.
very related to it. But
Yes.
if it is truly not relevant to you, you'll be like, oh, okay. I know this is what you all have chosen, but none of my business, not my reality, not relevant to me.
It's so powerful when you say it like that. It's so freeing. And so, I mean, in the midst of, now I understand why, in the midst of fear, in the midst of anxiety, in the midst of of confusion, when you just ask that question, is this relevant to me? Or if you just say,
Yes,
not my reality, it's so easy to
yes,
detach. Oh my gosh, it's so easy to detach
yes.
from everything.
Yeah, because you see, if you have the need to fight against it, you already like make yourself the victim to whatever you are trying to fight against. Okay, if you need to fight against something, you have already decided that thing could affect you. So you see, your points of view create your reality. Okay, and of course we have so many points of view that we are not aware of. So in this case, if you fight against something, your hidden point of view here is this thing could affect me, so I need to defend myself, I need to fight against it. But while you are defending against it, you think you get some freedom from it. Your real point of view is this thing is more powerful than me, this thing could affect me, that's why it keeps affecting you. Okay, but this is something that it sounds so easy, so simple, but if you look at how everyone functions, it has a lot of this energy of fight. Like, I must fight against this so that I'm not affected by it. You judge me, I must fight against your judgment. I need to prove that your judgment about me is not correct. Yeah. Then, even though you prove that judgment is not correct, you lose your sense of joy and freedom and the sense of lightness. But
That's
if
true.
someone judge you, no matter how intensely, how harshly, you'll be like, okay, I know you are judging me. I'm not avoiding it, but at the same time, I truly know that nothing to do with me, not my reality, completely irrelevant to me. Freedom.
And you just deflect the bullets, right? Because
Yeah.
if you fight, it's like you're taking it in, like you're saying. But
Yes.
if it's like it looks to me like a shield. If you say not my reality, and if you
Yeah.
say not relevant to me, it's like you're deflecting it, and that becomes your shield.
Or it's either like it just bounce back or it just pass through
Yeah.
you, and then you're like, oh, I'm unaffected.
On that note, can we ask what's your reality? Because it's interesting to actually know. to actually, I'm just curious, given that you're using all of these tools of access consciousness and you're a facilitator, what does
All right.
balanced reality look like?
Okay, this is actually a big question. I'm not sure if I can put words onto it, but let me talk about like since about 10 years ago when I first found access. Maybe that can give you all some idea. So 10 years ago, well, I found, no, yeah, 10 years, 2 months, something like that. So when I found access, of course, I had a lot of problems in my life. I wasn't that happy. Sometimes I pretend to be happy, but still not that happy. So that was me long time ago. And then when I found access, oh, by the way, when I found access, I was a very mental person. Okay, like I tried to figure out everything with my mind, like as if I could analyze it, if I can come to the ultimate right conclusion, then my life would just work. I would finally be right and have no more problem. Yeah, that's the dangerous part of using your mind. Okay, so at first it wasn't easy for me because I'm like, how do I define all this energy, awareness, blah blah blah. But as I kept having my bars run, so we have this 1 day class called Access Bars, and you all can go to the Access Consciousness website to find it out. www.accessconscious okay .accessconsciousness.com. You can find Access Bars, and now in well, Access Bars is everywhere, and in Philippines there are bus facilitators as well, and I think you are going to become one soon, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So
Really,
cool.
really soon.
So I it's the access bus is such a gift because with every bus session that I receive, it clears so many limitations from my world and of course from my mind as well, including those limitations that I don't even know I have. Okay, so after each session, I'm like, oh, I feel lighter, more free. Everything seems easier. Whatever that I would like to have, they come to me quicker, easier, and less effort. Okay, why? Because access bars is one thing that really teaches us to learn to receive. Okay, so you see, receiving is such a huge topic, but I will give you some idea here. So, for example, if you have a friend and this friend is so stubborn, okay, try to control everything with a lot of fixed point of view, how things should be done. And now this friend needs some help. Can you help this friend?
I think if she asks for help, then I can help
Yeah,
her.
he or she asks for help, but with so many fixed point of view, like how you should help me. You should only help me this way, not that way. All right. You'll be like, gosh, I wish I can help you, but you are such a control freak. I don't know how to help you, right?
Right.
By the way, we all have friends and families like that.
Yes, yes.
It's very common. Okay. So now what we do with other people and also, of course the entire universe could be that. So you need something, you desire something, you want your life to be greater, but at the same time you have so many fixed point of view, like how my life can be better only through this way. I will only allow myself to have possibility like exactly this way. And then universe has no way to contribute to you. Universe will be like, I have million, if not billion possibilities, but you are so not receiving. You are so much controlling, right? So with each bar session, I let go of all these points of view, including those that I don't even know I have. And then so I becoming lesser and lesser in control, trying to control everything. And then universe will be like, oh yeah, now it's easier for me to provide to you, to give to you what you desire, what you ask for. Okay. So with each and every bar session that I received in the last 10 years, I received bar session like at least once a week. Um, then my world just keep on expanding and expanding and expanding. And but at the same time, you need to know we live on planet insanity. By the way, it's called planet Earth. Okay,
That's the one
so
point. That's true.
yeah, well, planet Earth is such a beautiful place. Okay, the problem is there are too many crazy people everywhere. So you see, they they have so many, like, the limitations, the lies, the judgments, and so on and so forth. So sometimes after a bar session you feel great, but after you start to talk to some people, or maybe you read newspaper, you go online and see people sharing rumors, okay, unverified news or something, and then your world start to feel heavier and heavier again.
It's
But
true.
it it never goes back to like the heaviness like before. Okay, so your world expand and then it contracts a little bit, and then with each session your world expand bigger, and then you buy into some limitations, and then your world contract a little bit, but not as small as when you first started. So on and so forth. Eventually you'll be like, oh gosh, this is my life. Okay, like I have more ease now. Now this finally I have a life that worth living. I have a life that it's very different, very hard to explain to other people, but at least I have a sense of me. Okay, and of course with more ease, more
Oh
freedom,
my
more
gosh,
choices.
I so resonate with that. Even
Okay,
Tina
so
was
that's why I said,
saying, and I interviewed.
so as I said, that's why I said I don't really know how to put words to that, but with this story you get the idea of like how my life changed and expanded and will
Yes.
continue to expand. Okay, so sorry, what did
Yeah.
you say just now?
Yeah, I agree with that. Because you and Tina, you have the same answer. When I asked Tina also, what did you get? What's the best gift Access gave you? And she's like, I'm more me. And then you're saying, I'm more me. And like last year, I couldn't understand that. How can you be not you? Seriously, you're you. So I was like, it's just so confusing for me that you can't be. But having gone through my year with Access, I felt like my life changed 180 degrees. Because I was telling
Mm-hmm.
you before we podcast, my life was a very structured prior to Access consciousness. I would just do these things because this is what my the requirements of, yeah, becoming younger and says Faina. But my life was very, 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 very structured. And after Access Bars, I just opened up two questions like, why do you have to make conclusions? Why do you have to do it this way just because somebody told you it should be done this way? And
Mm-hmm.
then when I get out of those beliefs, or I say probably point of views, what happened is I start choosing what I'd be happy with versus what would be my family be happy, because there are those things. My family would be happy if I stay in, for example, in the province, or my friends will be happy with it when I stay in Manila. And so I'm confused. I'd go to Manila for my friends, I'd go to the province for my family. And but then when I ask, what is it that makes you happy? And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, leading a nomad life, going from one point to another makes me happy. And that's when I realized, yeah, it's about being me more, choosing what I like. And most of the time we choose based on judgment, like you said, we want to fit in, so we choose what will help us
Yeah.
fit in, or we choose because we don't want judgment. And so, oh my gosh, that's so true. Now because I'm choosing myself more or what I like more, I'm more me.
Yeah, so there's something here that I can point out. Like, so many people have these hidden points of view. It's not even like a point of view that you cognitively like know. It's more like a feeling. So what is that feeling? It's like whenever you choose for yourself, you have this feeling like that seems bad because I'm going to like offend someone else. I'm going to betray my parents' reality, for example. It's like I'm betraying my culture or something. So so many of us put ourselves like the last one in our own list. It's all about other people's first. Like, if I choose this, would my mom be happy? Would my father be happy? Would my friends be happy? Would my dog be happy? Would my neighbor be happy? Would my neighbors be happy? And then like, and then
So true.
after you go through all the list, you'll be like, where am I in the list? Oh yeah, last one. If, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, you cannot make other people happy. I mean, you could contribute to them happier if they choose. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, on planet insanity, not many people choose happiness. Okay, so if someone doesn't choose happiness, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to make that person happy, that person is not going to be happy. Okay, so you don't ever have to worry that because of you prioritizing you first, like include you yourself in your choice, like ask, okay, what works for me, what do I really desire, and then choose that. Then this, but by asking all these questions, you're finally you can choose for you. Okay, and it's not about against other people, but it's like, no, I'm not choosing this because I want to go against you, but I'm choosing this because my life is my responsibility. I need to choose what works for me, and your life, your own responsibility.
That's true. That's
Right?
true. That's true. Don't you think it's cultural, especially for Asians? Like we always think about the family, the community, everybody else except for the self.
Yeah. So
And like you
I want to
said,
share one quick story
last
about
one would be
how the first time that I got that awareness, that was like maybe 9 years ago. So about 1 year after I found Access, and then so I attended the Access Bus 1 day class, and then after that I attended the Foundation 4 days class, and then after that I want to attend another class called the 3 day body class. So it's a class all about our body, right? So when I so back then 9 years 10 years ago, I was very much a mental person, as I mentioned just now. So we according to some other modalities, we are like, okay, you need to find out the reason why you want to do something. You need to like get the intention behind that, right? To motivate yourself, because at that time I had money problems, so I'm like, okay, I must have good reason to choose this class, and it cost me a lot. So I asked myself, okay, why do I want to do this class? Then I get some answer like, oh yeah, then I can be a better healer. I can help so many other people. I can heal my mom. I can be the healer of the family, so on and so forth. And then after I made all this list, and then of course I signed up that class. I think it was 1 day before the class, or maybe the first day of the class, I got that like a big aha moment, like the hammer like smashing me on my head, like like, gosh, where are you in the list? Not in the list. Hello. And then
you're
that
not
moment
in
I
the list.
realized, yes, like I was like, oh wow, I made a choice, and I completely exclude myself. Okay, I'm like, all right, not too late to notice it. Like I'm changing that now. Okay, what if this class could contribute to my own body, my own life, my future? I'm like, oh yeah. And with that question, of course, I would be able to receive more from that class. Okay, so that was the first aha for me, and of course, I had a few other aha, and then I just like
Yeah.
have more and more awareness of where in my own life I excluded myself. Okay, and sometimes when you exclude yourself, especially if you try to make other people happy, you prioritize other people's first, you feel like then finally I can prove I'm such a good person, I'm a nice person. And you know why we try so hard to try to prove we are a good person?
No.
Because you have already decided you are such a terrible, bad, evil, mean person. Okay,
Oh, so we judge
we
ourselves, and so we try to prove we're
we
not
yes, we only
that.
prove what we only prove the opposite. Okay, so for example, someone that is dishonest will try to prove to you, trust me, I'm honest, you should trust me, right? But if you are honest, you don't bother to prove. You'll be like, this is me, I'm telling you what I'm telling you. If you don't believe, fine, who cares, right? You have nothing to prove. Whenever you want to
Yeah.
prove something, it's because you have already decided the opposite. So when you want to prove you are a good person, it's because you have decided you are such a bad person. Okay, so how many judgments do you all have about yourself? And then you live your life from proving. I need to prove to my mom I'm a successful person. I need to prove to my boss I'm a useful person. I need to prove to whoever, my spouse, I'm such a good, responsible husband or wife or whatever. So all these unconscious and automated proving, non-stop proving, will please destroy and create all of that.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, tough and pot, all nice shots, boys and beyonds. And you see, this community is called the online healing community, right? So you see, let's talk about healing. If you, okay, so let's say someone come to you to ask for healing. When you provide healing, if you provide healing with the need to prove I'm a good healer, is it going to be easy for you?
It's going to be difficult,
It's going to be
definitely.
difficult, and you are going to judge you a lot. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing this correctly? Will I still be seen as a good healer after this session? You know, instead of just like, hey, this is me. What can I contribute to you? Then you will be really present with your client and be able to contribute as you really can. Okay. So how many? Let's do that one more time. So how many judgments do you have about yourself, and how many unconscious, automated, non-stop proving and proving and proving are you functioning from that you can now choose something different, stop that, destroy and create all of that. Set you free. Right, wrong, good and bad, top and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah. Oh, you're frying our brain, Ryan. Oh my gosh. And this is even, and this is not even your class. Oh my gosh, we should go talk about your class before we run out of time. It felt like we cleared so much space. Really personally, I don't know about the people listening in. I felt this interview, this conversation cleared a lot of space for me, and so I'm open to receive more. But if you want to learn more from Ryan, you should go to his class. It's going to be this Thursday. Let me just share the screen. I have to do this now because we might run out of time. There. There. The willingness, this is a different class naman. The willingness to be a leader. Before we run out of time, of course, we'll go back to our topic later. Can you tell us more about this, Ryan?
Okay, cool. So on the January 27th, that's like 2 more days, I think. Yeah, 2 more days. So I'm having this online class called The Willingness to be a Leader. So what is this about? There are so many classes, whether in Access or outside of Access, talking about leadership, how to be a good leader, like what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's great. But there is one thing that a lot of people are not addressing, that is the willingness. Okay, so why the willingness is important? Because my point of view is everyone can be leader, but not everyone choose to be a leader. Because sometimes for a lot of us, we have this point of view like, I'm a nobody. I'm just a very normal person. I don't think I can be a leader. So you see, if you have those points of view, no matter how many leadership class you have attended, no matter how many persuasion skill, leadership skill, communication skill you have learned, you will not really like let it empower you and contribute to your life. Because ultimately you still believe you are a nobody. But are you really a nobody? Or is that a lie? Okay, is that a judgment? Okay, and of course some other points of view that people have would be to be a leader is like not easy, too difficult, like huge responsibility. Oh my god, if I make mistake, then I'm going to affect so many other people. Well, I rather not be. Let me have a normal life. Okay, so see, you can be a leader, but not everyone have the willingness. So this class is about addressing this very specific part, so that you once you have the willingness, the rest will be easier. Okay, and when I say leader, I don't mean like a leader in the
And
business
you know,
world.
I've been to
It
your
can.
class.
Mhm. hold on. Okay, I just want to finish that part. So I said, it's not about
Yes, please.
leader in the business world. It could be leader in your own life. Are you the leader of your own life? Okay. Could you be a leader in your family? Like, are you the one that is, like, I would say, most aware in your family? If
Right.
you are the one that is most aware in your family, why not you lead them to something greater? Why you, the one with most awareness, choose to let those with less awareness to lead you, right? So let's wait until 27 to talk more about that.
Yes, yes. So on 27th, we're gonna have a class with us, willingness to be a leader. And you know what? I've been to your classes, and what's different there is you can change right away on the spot. Like the other classes, I'll have to attend, and then I'll have to apply the theories or the tools after the class. But when I attend your clearing session, it's like you're creating space for me right there and then already. And like what you said, when you create space for you, the universe is just willing to give you what you're asking for.
Yeah, yeah, because if you ask for something, you need to have the space so that you can receive whatever you're asking for.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Do you still
and
have an
certain
ask?
certain things you need to use those skills or techniques like continuously, but certain things it's more
Right.
about clearing the limitations. Once the limitations are gone, you'll be like, oh yeah, I am now willing to receive new possibilities, receive what you previously couldn't receive.
Right, right. Brian, do you still have an ask? I mean, I'm sure you have a fun, very, very fun reality. You talk about that on your YouTube channel, you talk about that on Instagram and your other social media. But do you still have an ask for 2022?
I don't ask specifically for 2022. I have a few asks, and they are continuously. I will continuously to ask for those things, and so number one is to have greater impact on the entire planet. That was my ask since a few months ago. Okay, like well, a lot of us, you see, if a lot more of us step up, willing to be a leader, willing to be seen, and then so that you can contribute to more people and of course the entire planet, this world can be really different. Okay, this world is in its current insane situation. Of course, number one, there are so many crazy people out there, and number two, there are so many of us that are so capable of changing this reality are still waiting and not stepping up. Okay, so my ask is like to have greater impact on the entire planet. That's not my primary ask for now. And I remember earlier this month or maybe end of last year, I recorded a video, and it is in Mandarin, so I think most of you like didn't see it or couldn't understand it. My ask in that video for everyone was, what if 2022 is a year that everything can change? Okay. So it's not like a specific thing like, oh yeah, I want a better relationship, I want more money, I want a new house, I want a new car, I want a blah blah blah. But it's like, what if like you in this year you truly know everything that you would like to change, you can change. Okay. And then from there, it's like you have a new foundation. And then from there, it's easier for you to ask for different things, to change things, to create your life in a very different way. So for all of us, what if now let's ask for that, like, okay, 2022, a year where everything can change. So everything that doesn't allow that, everywhere that you have decided change has to gone through a lot of tears, blood and sweat, trauma and drama, blah 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 blah. Failure and failure and failure, multiple failures, and then eventually you succeed. Will you please describe and create all of that and allow change to be easy? Right, wrong, good and
Yes,
bad, part and
yes.
part. Oh, nice shots, boys and
That's
girls. How many
our
points of view do
mindset.
you have? How many points of view do you have that wouldn't allow
Yes.
you to change with ease? everything, and wouldn't allow universe to contribute to you to have changes with ease. Everything that is times a godzillion will now please destroy and create it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, pound and pound, all nine shorts, boys and girls. Times a godzillion is like, we talk about million, billion, trillion. So a godzillion is a number that is so big that only God knows. So it's like we
Yeah.
are amplifying the effect so that with one clearing, we clear like as much limitations as possible.
Wow. Wow. What if 2022 is the year of change? That's just so humongous. I love that question. And I feel that it just lightens instantly when you're doing
Yeah,
that clearing. It feels like you lifted everybody up.
yep. Because well, why did I recorded a video with that was I have seen so many people, and of course myself included, in many situations. We ask for something, and then at the same time, we have already decided that's not going to happen. For example, let's say some people are like, "What would it take for me to make $1 million this year?" But in your mind, you'll be like, "That is impossible." So see, so you are defeating yourself. You are you are you pretend to ask for something different, but at the same time, you have decided it's not going to happen. Okay, so when I say 2022 to be a year where everything can change, it could also mean a year where you don't stop yourself. What about that?
Oh my gosh. That's so beautiful. And Tina saying, ha ha ha, got it. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
we really got it. And I don't know about you. I just felt you just lifted everybody up, especially with that last year. And so Ryan, I would just like to honor and acknowledge you because you've been so honest with us. You talked to us about our struggles and you were naming things. You're calling people crazy, which I feel we should really acknowledge. People are getting crazy. You're calling the planet insane. And I feel that somebody has to say that. Thank you for being super honest with us and for showing us what's really happening. And thank you for your ask because you just like opened up so much space for
yep,
everyone. Thank you so much. So with like and she told me about one of the class that you did. And she was saying, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I had trauma," and he just freed me from that trauma. And there was one class where you were swearing a lot, and she's saying, "Oh my gosh, she got, he got it. That was me swearing." And Ryan just got that energy, and that's one thing that you'd really get with Ryan's class. He will really. I feel that it's really tailor fit. When I attend your class, I really feel that it's really for me and would really sense the energy of the people there in the class and what they need. And you just give us what we need. So thank you so much. So again, we're inviting everybody. It's going to be this Thursday, the willingness to be a leader. And if this conversation open up many possibilities for you, imagine what a clearing session with Ryan will open up for you, especially for 2022. And it might just be the change that you need, or probably not even the change, probably the push, a little prod that you need for this year. Thank you so much, Ryan. Final message for everybody watching and listening. Of course, you just blew our minds away and you cleared so many things for us. But is there anything else that you want us to really remember?
I need another hour if you want me to talk more.
We need more, 11 more hours. But, they should go to the Thursday, really.
Yes,
So
yes.
they'll have more time with
I look forward to seeing some of you coming to that class so that I can contribute more to you all. And whether you come or not, I don't have a point of view about that. But please make this year a year that you choose for you and a year that you don't stop you. Okay, when you don't stop you, no one else can stop you.
Yes, I would just like to echo that. Make this year a year where you choose you. And then next time you tell me how you are and how being you changed you. Thank you
Yes,
so much,
yes.
Ryan. I'll see you this Thursday. And
Thank you,
everybody
Karen.
see
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
And thank you,
And
Marielle and
thank you,
Tina, for
Mariel
making this
and Tina.
happen.
And thank you, everyone
Thank
watching.
you. Yeah, and we'll see you this Thursday, everyone. Bye for now. Thank you.